Sessions here, and today I'm going to show you how to play a jazz blues with just two chord forms. Not just two chords, two chord forms. So these chord forms are movable chords that you can play in different keys. So let's look at the first one. First one is, in this case, it's going to be a C7. And it's going to be played, some people might call this a form built off an E shape if you use the cage system. I use a system that talks about where the root is. So the root here is on the 6th string. So I call it root 6, dominant 7. And just to talk about the fingering, first finger is going to bar at the 8th fret. Then second finger is coming in on the 3rd string at the 9th fret. Third finger is coming in on the 5th string at the 10th fret. So there's the shape we're going to use. And of course, this shape, because there's no open strings, becomes movable. So we can play it up and down the neck where we need it. The next chord is the dominant 9th. Some people might say this is built off a C shape. But I think of it where the root is. The root is on the 5th string, so it's a root 5, 9th chord. Now this is also one of the chords I call a bent knuckle chord. So the 3rd finger is going to come across at the 8th fret and bend kind of backwards. And you're going to bar it at 1st, 2nd, 3rd string or at the 8th fret. First finger is coming in on 4th string at the 7th fret. Second finger is coming in on the 5th string at the 8th fret. Once again, no open strings. You can move it everywhere, so anywhere you want. But at any rate, this is going to be a straight ahead 12-bar blues, just using those two forms and using them different ways. So this is just going to be straight ahead, nothing fancy. So it's going to go like... So that's pretty simple. Now you can add a lot to this by moving these two chord shapes around. I could walk into that F9, half step up. Or I could walk into it from a half step down. Depends on which way you want to go, what sound you're looking for. And then the chord, you can within the measure move it up and down. So on this C7, so I just moved it up a half step and back down. So using those concepts, I'm going to play the same progression, but just moving the chords within the song. So it's going to sound like this: a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. So I thought that was pretty cool. Just with two shapes, you can get a lot of sound. Of course, there you can add notes to these chords, which you'd have to learn some other chords, such as a 13 or a 9 on the high side, or take this same shape for the F9, add a 13 up there, or a sharp 9 or flat 9, but it's still the same low 3 strings. So you can go. That was pretty cool too, but here's the another thing you can do is just play 3 notes out of the chord. So I'm just going to play on this C7 on I'm just going to play the notes on the 6th string, 4th string, and 3rd string, which is basically the root flat 7 and 3rd, and then the same thing with this F9. I play the notes on the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings, so I can play it like this. So just with those two shapes, you can play all kinds of keys. So if you wanted to play it in A, same deal. You just move it. And so there's tons of songs you can learn with that a lot of people know, like C Jam Blues, which is essentially just an excuse to jam over those chords. You're always looking, so people write things called heads, and there's a lot of heads. There's one Blues in the Closet, and of course you can get songs that have lyrics like Elvis, which would be "You ain't nothing but a hound dog, just a barking all the time." Or there's one of my favorite tunes by Peggy Lee, which is "All right, okay, you win." Same deal. All right, okay, you win. Another one I heard, what did I hear doing this? Maybe Roy Buchanan, one of those guys. The Good Rockin' Tonight. I think it was some rockabilly band. They were doing Good Rockin' Tonight. Have you heard the news? There's good rockin' tonight. Ba, 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 etc., etc. So it's like with those two shapes, there's dozens, hundreds, if not thousands of songs you can play. And all you got to do is be aware what key you want to be in. So hopefully that's going to be useful to you. Appreciate you watching. Please hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get back into doing videos. I took a little break from that and moved from Virginia down here to North Carolina. And now I'm going to try to start doing way more videos, possibly two a month, and then eventually kick it out a little more. At any rate, thanks for watching.